Blog Talk Radio.
In the room, everybody hit turn. The one that you respect, something you have to earn. Take that as a lesson learned. Don't get too close, cause you might get burned. Burned by my fire. The one that you admire. The one that you desire. And popular demand, the one you want to hire. For all the gigs and the shows, they go crazy when I drop it down low. I'm about to pick it up slow, like I chopped and screwed. Picture show. Because it will last longer when it comes to my skills, they only getting stronger. From the start, I would crown like Kevin Hart. It's about to go down. I'm your number one Libra, GLM's own certified diva, high achiever, I'm the leader, I'm the captain, I make it happen, yes, that's just the bottom line, I do things on my own damn time, not a minor, more like a major, got you wondering what's my flavor, GLM is tasty sickness, taking over with the quickness, sexiness, yeah I got that, I aim to please just the teeth, go and cop that. You may play hard, but I'ma play harder. You may play smart, but I'ma play smarter. I rock the mic and I blaze the stage. You can't stop the beats once I come out the cage. Yes, I'm the one they call sequence. Don't confuse my kindness for weakness. I'm the queen, far from the princess, boss lady, the one you need to impress. Yes, I'm the one they call sequence. Don't confuse my kindness for weakness. I'm the queen, far from the princess, boss lady, the one you need to impress. I'm forever taking top spot for the taking. There is no mistake. I'ma dance till my bones get the aching. Start with booty shaking, certified earthquake. You got to give it up to the DJ for keeping that. Fire on replay, keeping that. Heat and rotation, feel the vibration. Off through my body like cameras. I'm all about the action, all about the love. My heart filled with passion, fashion galore. Got them wanting more. Especially when I'm busting it on the dance floor. I start high, then I go low. Wind them hips when I wish the middle. Get low, bring it back up real high. Wind them hips, get ready as I dance to mine, dance to mine. Dance to mine, dance to mine. Dance to mine, dance to mine. My bones get the aching, certified earthquake. Dance to mine, dance to mine. Dance to mine, dance to mine. I dance to mine, dance to mine. My bones get the aching, certified earthquake. Feel the vibration, all through my body, feel the vibration. All through my body, feel the vibration. All through my body. Time to get a little sexy. I got some tricks.
Great rise, beloveds. It's your girl, Kimberly McCann, a.k.a. Queen Got the King Advocate, and you are listening live to On the Move, Unscripted, On Purpose, the ladies' round table discussion, where we talk about everything. Make sure you tune in every Thursday night at 8 o'clock from 8 to 10, so we talk about whatever you want to talk about. So make sure you tune in 8 o'clock every Thursday, 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock p.m. with your girls live on the move, unscripted, on purpose. And remember, whatever you do it on purpose, with purpose.
What's going on? You have tuned in to another episode of On the Move, unscripted, on purpose, ladies roundtable discussion. Yes, we are back. We're back for another week. And yes, I do have my ladies on the line. What's going on, ladies?
We in here. What's going on with you?
Can y'all hear me really good? Can y'all hear me real clear?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We hear you.
You know, well, sometimes I try to do it through my laptop, and I think it sounds better than when I just go through my phone. Because sometimes I don't think y'all can hear me through my phone.
Okay.
So, don't get too excited. Don't sound too full of energy, y'all. Like, what's going on? What's cracking like it? What's going on? I'm coming down for a daggone energy drink. Come on now. So what's
Hello,
going on?
Hello, this is DJ in the building.
DJ in the building, baby. All right, so we're going to go down the line and do our regular, how you doing type thing. So we're going to start with the first number, who I'm thinking was the first person to call in. Kimberly McCants, Queen Goddess, the King Advocate. What's going on, Mama Sita?
Yes, ma'am. All is well. All is well. Sadly, though, I had to go to my client's funeral yesterday. But it was, when I tell you, that woman was dope. She was beautiful. I've never seen anybody that gorgeous in my life. They laid her out. Oh, my goodness. It was dope. The whole ceremony was beautiful. So that was like the least favorable thing that's happened this week. I've got some orders from my products. I'm so happy about that. I'm about to really push that, push my products along. I'm pumped about that. Not a whole lot has really been happening. I'm back in the gym. I'm doing my thing, and I'll be kicking my ass. Because I promise you, every day when I get home, I fall asleep sitting at the table. So I know I'm doing the thing. I know I'm doing what I need to be doing.
Kim said her body's about to be on point.
Okay, I'll fall asleep at the table. At the table. Okay. So it's been good. I got asked to host a men's show in April. Sometimes I'll keep you posted on that. So that's gonna be really dope, actually.
Oh.
Out of everybody that could have taken, I got the call. So yeah, I'm excited about that. Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
That's good. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you. In advance, I received it. But I mean, overall, it's been pretty chill. Nothing, really super exciting. But every day is a new day, so I'm grateful for it, and I'm looking forward to the next one.
Amen. Okay. All right then. Well, I'm glad. Once again, I'm sorry about the passing of your client, but we don't understand what happens with the transition, after the transition. I mean, we read the Bible and we have our thoughts. Different religions feel different ways or whatever. But the one thing I think we all can agree on is that our spirit leaves the body. Regardless of what our religious beliefs are, they are no longer in that body. Where the spirit goes, everybody don't agree on, but at least she's no longer in pain, and so that's kind of how I think it would be good to look at it. But I'm glad that you got things rolling with your product. Thank you very much for giving me my samples of your product too. Like, I wish you much success with that. And I still have it. I have not broke it open yet, but I'm going to. And as soon as I do, I will give you a review online to let people know what I thought about your product. Because we got to support each other. That's what this is all about.
Indeed, I'm gonna have a product party. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna do some things. I'm asking for some people who will volunteer to test it. Actually, to test them. So I'll be posting that up too in a little bit. I want to say something real quick that has nothing to do with what we talking about. But one day I went to go get some herbs for my product. Let me make that clear. Okay, herbs for my product.
Oh, we didn't think you was talking about weed.
No, I know y'all didn't, but ain't no telling what the listening process is. Ain't no telling what's being processed. And it was kind of cold and raining a little bit, and it was a homeless lady that was outside on private property, and the security guard was a young lady. You know, she kept telling the lady she had to get off the property or whatever. The lady was, steady crying or whatever. She's like, "Ma'am, I'm just cold. I need a coat, or I want a coat, or whatever it was." She was asking for some clothing items, right? Because it was raining. But I noticed that she had on a coat and she had a coat in her hand. She's like, she finally escorted the lady off the premises or whatnot. So I asked her, I said, well, what does she need? What is she looking for? She said she needed some socks. She wanted some socks. So she's like, I gave her my socks. I thought it was the dopest thing. Like, she took the socks off her feet and gave them to this homeless woman because she was crying and cold. Yeah. That's all she wanted was some socks for her feet. That was the dopest thing I have ever seen in my life. We need to start doing more stuff like that. That was real.
Yeah.
She wasn't asking for no money. What? She wasn't asking for food. She wanted some socks.
That was dope. And I just want to say, let's send prayer out to Texas and all they're going through right now, because a lot of them still don't have electricity or heat. And praise God, I've reached out to my son who's actually in San Antonio, and he said that, lights had went out for a while, but they were back on where he lives at. But I had a guest on last night, William Harris, of H. Loyal Management and PR, and he said that his lights had been out electricity had been out for 3 days, and to the point where his water in his toilet was frozen. So I sent him a message and let him know, and I told him if he need anything, let us know. So definitely let's keep our prayers, open out for the people in Texas, and if they ever do any GoFundMes or whatever, let's really just help them, because this Houston has been getting hit lately. Texas definitely, but Texas has been getting hit overall, but Houston seems like it's been getting hit really, really bad over the last few years. So let's just keep them and all the people who have been affected by this bad weather and the pandemic and everything. It's just like another hit, and we still trying to climb out the other hit. So just keep them in our prayers. Well, I'm glad you had an awesome week, Kimberly McCants, Queen Goddess King Advocate, and I hope that you do keep us abreast of when you have your speaking engagement so that we can support you and share and that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. Appreciate you.
Mm-hmm. So let's go on down the line. The next person in the house is Misty Jones. What's going on, Misty?
I'm doing well. Just tired. That's about it. Running. Getting stuff together for the Single Women's Ministry. We're going to try our best to have the very first meeting on the first week, which is the 6th of March. So we just been getting our little stuff together and everything. And then we're going to be cooking tomorrow, nothing happened, Lord's will, and feeding the homeless downtown.
Wow!
Yes.
Is that something that just is your church? Are they looking for volunteers?
Actually, it's just me and Pastor Julie Thomas, and I don't know who all she got on the team, but as far as I know, it's me and her so far. So, but it's it's just something that she decided to do. She had started asking for donations so we can go out and put them in hotels and stuff, but, didn't get a lot of, only a few people helped donate. So it's not enough.
You didn't tell us. Why you didn't share it if I could have been sharing it?
I posted on Facebook. We posted on Facebook.
Did you tag me in it, Misty?
No, I didn't tag nobody, but what I'll do is I'll go. I didn't tag nobody. I wasn't thinking about that. I just was thinking about sharing the post. I don't know.
Right.
But
y'all know, share it with your girl.
I'll be having to catch up. Y'all know I'll be like caught off guard sometimes, especially if I'm up at like 2 or 3 in the morning. I'll just be like, okay, Lord, let me pray, and jump on Facebook real quick. But yeah, we just trying to help. Where there's a need, and try to do some things for the community and stuff. And thank you, DJ, for the email. I haven't got to it yet, but, the nonprofit organizations are about to be blossoming and everything, so I will share that with you all.
You are welcome.
So have y'all like created like a GoFundMe or something to help? Like you really need to, if you want people to, pour into what you're doing, because what you're doing is awesome, it's needed. But if people don't know about it, they're not going to give. So I don't know, whatever platform, if you're using a GoFundMe or you're using something, once you create it, you need to share it. Maybe Deshawn can help you, because Deshawn knows about all that fundraising type stuff. I'm sure she wouldn't mind assisting you and your team with with getting that rolling so that you can start getting donations, and then I don't mind sharing it. In fact, if you have it ain't gonna be tomorrow because tomorrow my birthday, but right. But when y'all go out, I would definitely love to assist you because that's something that I wanted to do. Like if you've never been in a situation where you have had to stay at a shelter, or if you've never been where you were in between places, and because if you're not in your own home and you're staying with somebody or you're staying with a friend or you go to home, you really technically are home. So if you've never experienced it, maybe you don't understand, but I've been there before. So that's always when I give my tithes, I usually give it to whatever homeless ministry they got going on because I understand. I understand. Been there. So definitely keep us abreast on that. Get with Deshawn so she can help you ladies set it up, and then once y'all get it set it up, share with me so we can share it, and then set a date so I can come and help y'all. Like I want to help.
Okay. I definitely will do that. And, I just came out from feeling homeless as well because, staying with my kids and my sister. So, I had my, access to, my apartment but couldn't move in. The COVID stuff happened. So they like, push the date back, But I know exactly how it feels to, feel homeless. Just staying with other people. It ain't your own stuff, so you're still homeless. So I know exactly.
Yeah, so when you get that set up, definitely let ask. I know Deshawn is such a giving and loving person, and she understands all that whole nonprofit thing. So yeah. I would definitely. I know she. I mean, I can't speak for her, but I'm about sure Deshawn.
Yeah,
okay.
She actually.
I have her.
Yeah, she got me. She said, well, "Girl, I got you." She said, "We're a family. I got you. Don't worry about it." She said, "But you are." She said, "You are putting a little bit too much on yourself, though. But go ahead and stop that, and I got you. Let me show you the shortcut because you're taking the long route."
Well, you know what? No, but see, I was there because she's a visionary. So you have this big picture in your head, and it's okay because that's what passionate people do. But you just got to break it down. And somebody told me, now I'm going to share the same information. So it's
right,
it's
and
okay.
I appreciate it.
And I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited for you.
Well, I can't
thank
wait.
You.
I can't wait to
honey,
help
I know
because
the people. Go ahead, Patricia.
I can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait to help. So other than that, you've had a good week, Misty?
Yeah, so I've had a good week. I've just been running, something that I normally don't do. But the Lord told me it's time to come out my comfort zone. So I'm just being obedient.
Come on out.
Like you've been getting a little bit too comfortable over the years, homegirl. Wake up. Come on. Let's take you on up out here and go this route, not that way.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
So I'm excited.
Okay, awesome and amazing. All right, so the next person on the line, next in line, on the line and in line and on the line, kind of got hand in hand. Anyway, it's Deshawn Johnson. I feel like the price is right. Come on down.
Am I glad to be in the land of the living, giving all glory and praise to God. This is not a religious show, but I gotta give him praise.
Amen.
Okay,
Amen.
So, hi, ladies. I am so glad to be on the call, as always. My week, it started out a little challenging because I had I went to the ER on Sunday and had this excruciating back pain. So got through that, felt better. I feel better today. So that was the most challenging. And then taking care, I got to take care of myself. More water, put it like that. More water.
So you ain't no water.
I mean, more water and less worry on things, because again, these are challenging times. So you got different things coming, but we got to, we have to learn how to take it in and just deal with the things that we can deal with and know that it's going to be okay. And I know everybody on the call has something. So that was my, growing up moment this week. Of course, as Misty mentioned, being able to talk to her about her vision and sharing information. Can't wait for that. It just feels good when you can share what you know that is going to help somebody.
Right.
I could never get people that had the information, but they just didn't want to share it. I'm like, you don't want to share the information? Like, I don't get it. It's not costing you anything. But anyway.
Right.
Let's see, what else this week? Preparing at the table with our casting call that's coming up February 27th. It is going to be a hybrid event. So anybody in the Columbus area that's a female cancer survivor, come out. You can go to our website, which is www.attrinc.org. That's at the table. And we are having a casting call. Like I said, for female women cancer survivors, it's a phenomenal experience. It's for our event that's going to be hybrid as well in June. That it's a platform where we honor and celebrate women cancer survivors, as well as bring awareness to cancer health. And we have some phenomenal resource partners and different things. So just go to the website. That's coming up, but both definitely February 27th, the casting call, if you're in the Columbus area. Excited about that. And man, just
did you
send
me a copy of that flyer, Deshaun? Can you text me?
I posted it.
Yes, I think you tagged us all.
Like everybody,
yeah, and if you ladies would share it.
Deshaun, I think Deshaun tagged us.
Yes, I will. Sharing is awesome. Yeah, please. So I'll share it.
Yeah.
Tag it.
Text me. Text it too. You got a picture of it on your phone?
Yes, I do.
You have the flyer? Okay. Text me the flyer.
Okay, and you're going in and out a little bit, or it may just be me.
No, it's Patricia. I think that's your phone.
Oh, okay, yeah, I will. Thank you.
Yes, it's Patricia. It's your phone. Yes, it's your phone.
Yeah, it's
right when I think I'm doing good, blasted. Y'all hear me now?
We can hear you.
You just
yeah,
in
we
and
can
out.
hear you, but it's just choppy. It's not that we can't hear you. It's just choppy.
One time I'm gonna hit the lottery, give me a new Apple laptop, Mac, everything.
You know that's in the cards for the Pisces.
That's it. I think that's it for my week.
That's good. Well, we're glad you're feeling better, DJ. Yes.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
I'm glad that you're up and moving around.
And a birthday coming up. A birthday coming up in March, and I know Patricia's is tomorrow. Kim's is when? Is yours, Kim?
The 27th.
Okay, so
February.
when I had proposed,
yes.
I said I wanted us to all go to Atlanta to and maybe just, I don't know, celebrate together. But I know it depends on the money and the timing of everything. I know it's nice south. It's a snowstorm here.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely ain't coming up there.
But yeah. So I don't know if you ladies are thinking about that, but I thought I would bring that up since we're all together.
Okay.
That sounds good. When you talking about like in March?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we gotta definitely make sure this snow is gone. Like, I'm so sick and tired of it. Goodness.
Okay, I didn't hear Patricia say. I didn't hear Kim say nothing.
I was trying to call in with my phone. Got a bad
you're choppy. Patricia, you're choppy. You're real choppy.
Okay. So
you got the laptop in?
I'm about to call in. So next person in line would be Marie. So how was your week? I'm about to call in.
Okay.
Hello.
I'm glad you had a good week, Deshaun.
Hey, Marie.
Hey, ladies.
What's going on, girl? What's going on, sis?
Well, my week has been okay. It's been pretty cool. Work. But besides that, it's been pretty groovy. I ran across a homeless woman earlier this week. That day that we had that little crazy blizzard storm where my car got stuck 3 times. It was just like 2 days ago. It was horrifying. But when I was leaving out of the store, it was a little elderly white lady. It was cold because we were down in the single digits. And she was freezing. I had just bought me this real cute hat, gloves, scarf set, filling myself, going with my coat. And I just didn't feel right knowing, like, I don't know if this woman's going to have any rest. If she was, like, sitting on the ground, like, trying to curl up with, I don't know, different type of newspapers. I just walked past her, put my stuff in the car. I was about to leave, and I just got out the car. As I told her hello, she had a little cup out for 50 cents. So I took a couple dollars out, put it in her cup, put my hat on her head, put my scarf around her neck, put my gloves on her ice cold fingers. And I just told her, God bless you. And just, kept on, because I figured once I get in my car, I'm going to be back at 85, 90 degrees. But, I have no idea what that woman's life was going to be like after I left. So I felt like at least that'd keep her a little bit warmer than where she was at.
Right.
So,
that's good. That was really good.
Yeah, but besides
y'all
that,
hear me better now?
Yes, we can. Okay. Yeah, so besides that, my week has been great.
You said that you say it again, because I was walking up the steps, Marie, and I didn't get to hear everything. You said that you ended up having to help a homeless person too?
Well, she just had her cup out, but she was sitting on the ground. And, a couple of days ago, we had got down in the single digits, so she was freezing. She had, like, little newspapers up by her to try to keep her a little bit warm. So I put my belongings in the car, and I was going to leave, and just something wouldn't let me leave. So I looked at her through my rear view, my little side passenger mirror, and I got back out the car, and I just put my hat on her head and put my scarf around her neck and placed my gloves on her hands, which just felt like popsicles, and put a couple dollars in her cup and got on back in my car and came on home. So I figure I could buy hats and gloves at any day, everybody's not as fortunate, so that was my good deed. Although, I give. I'm generous. I'm a giver. But besides that, good. The weather has been lightweight. It's winter. It's winter in Ohio. I saw a fish walking up the street with an umbrella. I don't know. It's been crazy. But it's cool. It's cool. I personally like the winter. Not a fan of the black ice and the ice over snow, there's over rain, there's over ice. But it's, I don't know. I enjoyed it. Me and a couple of my grandkids, the first time they got to go sledding. So we have fun. I have fun.
Cool. That's what's up.
That's
okay.
it.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad you had a good week. You know, I don't know if you saw that story, and I don't even know where this lady was out of. I don't know what city. I'm not sure. But there was a story about a woman who, she was in a hotel with her 2-year-old and her 10-year-old, and she had to work at a pizza. I guess it was a pizza place down the street. So she must have been homeless if she's staying at the hotel. And I guess maybe the kids was making a little noise or whatever, and somebody called the police, and they ended up taking the mother to jail. And so, you know, I instantly felt her pain. I instantly felt like, oh my gosh, you know what I'm saying? Because I went through something similar like that years ago when didn't have anybody to watch the kids and was working night shift at a nursing home right down the street.
I remember that.
And yeah, that was a really difficult time in my life too, because it was like me and my ex-husband had separated. He wasn't trying to help. My family, they wasn't trying to help. My sister, who was my support system, had moved out of town, and I was set trying to, you know, at that point I wasn't getting official child support, so it was just like I had to do what I had to do. So I'm over here at a nursing home trying to provide for my family, taking care of somebody else's family member, and my daughter woke up in the middle of the night and she walked out the door and somebody called the police. I remember losing my kids for 3 months. That was the most painful experience of my life. Like, that was the worst. And I went through, you know, I ended up immediately having to move out that place and trying to find a bigger place, just going through the whole DFAC system. It was a really horrible time in my life. And so and that was 20-something years ago, but still, when I saw that story, it instantly touched my spirit. And so that's why I definitely, you know, started giving, because they set up a GoFundMe. Somebody understood the pain of this woman or whatever and set up a GoFundMe. And so I think it raised like over $100,000 so far, but I definitely wanted to pour into that and to support that because I understood. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, if you've never been through nothing, then you can judge other people's lives and say, But if you've been through some stuff, then you understand somebody else's pain. So, you know, it's great that we are understanding other people's issues and we're coming forth and we're helping. Like, that's what we're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Right. As a community, as a people, you know. So I definitely commend you, R. Marie, you know what I'm saying, and Misty, and Deshaun, you know what I'm saying, and Kim, and everybody that does things for the community. Because that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to be there for each other. You know, so that's what's up. Okay.
Indeed.
Well, I'm glad you had a good week. I think that Dr. A. Marie is on the line. Dr. A. Marie, you on the line?
Oh, yes, I'm here. Hey, everybody.
What's
good? What's good?
You sound
busy as usual.
You know, Dr. A. Marie, you're usually so perky. Today you sound a little different, Dr. A. Marie. You're not that perky. Hey, I'm like, what's going on?
I'm sitting here, ate so much food. I'm ready to go to sleep.
Oh, that's what that is.
I'm ready for sleep, man. It's cold and it's rainy, so it's just the kind of cuddly kind of night. But I had a good week. Got a lot of stuff coming up. Working hard. I have an artist who's releasing his mixtape, so we have a release party coming up on March 13th. I have in-person trivia game coming up on Sunday, so that's going to be a lot of fun, hip-hop trivia. Doing some modeling stuff. Got Harley, getting ready for some events with Harley and getting a T-shirt and some gear with my picture on it as their African-American ambassador, Harley Girl. So, yeah, just working on all this stuff. 2 books I'm writing, getting those out.
Now when you get ready to publish some books, you know where to stop by and see me now.
You said stop by and see you.
Stop by and see me virtually. So make sure you share with me what you're promoting, because I really want y'all to understand. I do a lot of promotion for a lot of different people. I have clients now. God has blessed me with clients to be able to promote for whatever. But I always want to support my girls. So whenever y'all got something going on, the only thing is just don't post it on Facebook and think that you're gonna do a little bit more with me. Like text me the flyers or whatever so that I can support y'all, because I definitely want us to be able to use this platform not just to talk about whatever we want to talk about, and not just or whatever, but also to support whatever we got going on. You know what I'm saying? That's what this is for.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So, I'm glad that you had a good week, and what's do you have a website or something that you're sending people to?
Oh, good gosh. I have so many different websites because there's so many different things. So it depends on what I'm sharing, but I'll get you over all the information for this stuff.
Text it to me so I have it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to figure this out now. I'm actually looking for someone a personal assistant. I know another one. I had one, but I'm looking for another personal assistant to help wrangle in some of this stuff, and I can use my energy on other things and not this.
I know that's right. Okay. Well, when you find one, and once you get them trained, send them my way.
Okay.
Share the love.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Well, that's awesome and amazing. I'm glad you had a good week. So, for me, tomorrow's my birthday. I know everybody's sick of me, y'all. I know y'all sick of me. I know my people, the people in my household, like, we know, yeah. Can you like, Like, I do this every year. Anybody who has been my Facebook friend for longer than freaking a year, you know that every year at around this time, I act a fool. Like, people who know, they used to it. They just, but the people who ain't used to it, they're like, oh, my gosh, if you say anything else about your birthday, but I'm sorry. I made it another 365 days around the sun. I'm pretty excited about that, especially after all that happened last year. God knows I could have been one of the ones that, passed away, but the plan that God has for my life isn't done yet. So I celebrate every year, and I act a fool for about a month. So next month I'll be all right.
Yep. That's all right. We love you anyway, because we know. We know. You good. You good with us. I'm really having fun because, I'm pushing. I always support other people's music, other artists, and all that kind of stuff. All the time. But this year, this month, I just heard the Holy Spirit say to me, invest in you right now. So I took that step of faith and join some different things for my music and invest. I mean, I always share, but I don't really get into a lot of different other organizations that push music. But the Lord put that in my spirit this month. Like, it's invest in you, because you have a message too. While you sharing everybody else's stuff, don't forget about doing what I told you to do for you. Right. So this month, being it's my birthday month, I've just been doing different things to push my music and stuff like that. So it's cool. I had a good week, and I look at my birthday as my new year, my new season. So that song I always play, Mr. Stout, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna be blasting that tomorrow because that's my new season. That's how I see it. So yeah, dig it. But we actually have a call. We have a caller on the line. So let me pull. Caller been waiting so patiently. I swear to goodness, so patient. So let me pull a moment. Hello, caller. You have 204 in your number. You call into the Ladies Roundtable discussion. What's your name and where you calling from? I think what you do, get scared? As soon as I put for them to come on, they hung up. See,
Wow.
That don't make no sense, though. You waited for 12 freaking minutes for us to get through the how you doing, and when I get to you, you hang up. That's a daggone. You waited all that time. Oh well. So to get into our topic today, right? I know that last week we were talking about generational. Well, we said we were going to talk about generational curses, and I still wanted to talk about that. But last night I had the. I don't even. It wasn't even last night. I'm thinking it was this morning. I don't know what. I literally had this dream, and the dream was so significant that I woke up remembering everything about the dream, the faces, the people, everything. And you know how you're in that state in between being asleep and being awake, that REM period or whatever. I heard the Holy Spirit say, share the dream. So every time I got my raggedy phone and my raggedy laptop never lets me get everything out that I'm trying to say. But I felt it's still in my spirit, so I wanted to definitely talk about it. So in the dream, there was a person. I don't want to say names because I actually saw faces, and these are people that I actually know. But I don't really feel like it was about people per se, but more the message. So there was this person, and this person was a hard worker. They were, they shot for their dreams. They were big, they had a dream, they had a vision, they had a passion, they had a mission. Like all of us on this line, we all have that mission, that passion, that dream, that something that means a lot to us that we strive for. Deshaun was at the table and the cancer survivors, and Misty was with the women's ministry and the homelessness, and Kimberly McCants was with the men's ministry, you know what I'm saying, and then R. Marie, you know what I'm saying, with the patients and the nursing, what she does, and then Dr. A. Marie, with her patients and all that she does. So we all have this passion, myself, the music and the books, and we all have this passion. So I saw that in this person, and I saw that in this person, and so they had the opportunity to go on a game show, and the amount of money that they were about to win, if they won this game show contest, was going to be enough to funnel a big dream. They had a big dream. This was a big dream, and everybody who was around, all their friends, all their family, even people they didn't even know, everybody knew about this dream that this person had. So anyway, pick who they wanted to come on the show with them to help them win this big amount of money. So they picked people who they felt were close to them, that people that they knew that had been there with them since beginning, whatever. They picked their team. When they got on the show, they were getting it. They was winning. They was every question. They was killing the game. They was doing it. When it got to the last question, and this last question would have won the show, and the question was so easy. Everybody who knew this person knew the answer because this had been their mission and their assignment and what they preached about constantly to everybody who was anywhere within earsight. So everybody knew about this dream. The question was related to that dream, and the people that this person brought with them all knew the answer. So this person was excited, like, oh, we got this. Oh, we're going to win. We know the answer is so easy. And the people that this person brought with them on their team, all of them purposely answered the question wrong. They did it intentionally. They intentionally sabotaged that moment because they did not want this person to reach the goal that that person was trying to reach for. And these were people that were supposed to be close to them. These were their ride or dies. These were their homegirls, their homeboys, that the people that they told their intimate secrets to, the people that they trusted, the people they loved. Those were the people that they brought with them. But those people that they brought did not have this person's best interest at heart. And so when it got down to the get down, they all answered the question wrong so that the person would win. And that touched me so deeply. And when I woke up, I heard the Holy Spirit say, do a live. And so when I did a live, the first thing it said, when it gets down to the wire, who can you really trust? And how many people do you have in your circle that have two faces?
Okay. Wow.
I was trying to get that message out so bad, but my phone was acting a hot mess. But then I went on to tell a story about what happened with me and why there's two versions of the song Superwoman. So I just wanted to talk about that tonight, along with generational curses. And I just wanted to, because I feel like a lot of people have people in their circle that they know something about that. That person or those people ain't right. Like they've been seeing the signs. They've been seeing the signs, but they ignore it. So I just wanted to bring that to the table, and I wanted to talk about that and see what y'all thoughts are.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
As far as the people having two faces, everybody got two faces at minimum. And everybody has them because they don't recognize the one that's there, the one that shows up invisible, the one that looks just like you, the one I always refer to as a representative. That's another face. But if you've always seen that face, you don't recognize it as being anything separate than the one that you always look at. So the issue is not so much having the two faces, but recognizing that the other one exists and getting rid of one. For you, you have to be able to recognize when the people around you are really basically trying to cut your legs off from up under you and smile in your face. You know what I'm saying? I think we all have probably experienced that. You know what I'm saying? It sounds like they're your friends and your people, they trying to hold you down or hold you up, whatever the case is. But there's no solid foundation. And when people see that you are coming up or, doing some things that they weren't able to do or not able to do or figured that you would never be able to do, that crab in the bucket mentality kick in. Well, you doing this, I'm going to find a way to keep you down. I'm going to find a way to cut you off. I'm going to find a way to, bring you back down to my level because I'm not able to get where you are. That level of jealousy is something that you gotta watch out for that. But, you always stay covered, spiritually covered, and don't retaliate in a fashion that you would normally retaliate in your feelings. Retaliate in your success. You know what I'm saying? Like, you recognize them for what they are, for what they're doing, because you gotta understand, all these two faces, all these two faces, or second face, or whatever it is, the first face even, it has a job to do. It's going to do what it's sent here to do. Your job is to recognize your job and do your job, regardless of what else is coming at you and how it's coming at you. Don't get distracted by other people's faces. Don't get distracted by what you see or don't. Just stay focused on what it is you're supposed to be doing. Them faces don't make a difference. It don't matter. You just keep doing what you're doing the way you know you need to be doing it, and stay spiritually guarded. You'll be all right. Those faces, they ain't gonna stop.
So you feel like that dream was kind of like a message to me? Is that what you're trying to say?
Absolutely. You had it. It was absolutely for you and for you to share. So absolutely, ma'am.
Wow,
yeah, it's coming. It's going to come up. It's coming up.
Yeah. If I can just, this is Deshawn, if I can just confirm, Kim, what you said on two things, and I would say this is just strictly spiritual from my experience in corporate. When you have to try to figure out who's smiling in your face and who's cutting your back. You really don't have to do that. What God told me is, first, He's going to reveal them to you.
Right.
You know, I mean, that's it. Every person, God revealed them. I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to, you know, you feel something. And I think when you meet somebody, you know, and then maybe not, you know, but it's like God said, this is what this person is all about. So I got it, and it was up to me. Either I'm going to ignore it or I'm not. So
right.
I knew what that person was. And one time I had to, in a situation, I had to identify, like, God already showed me what you all about. And she was just like, yeah. And then to confirm again, one of the things is God said, I don't want you to react to people that lie on you, treat you mean, whatever. Don't react to that. I got that part. Don't even react to it. And a situation came up 2 days later, and I'm trying to react, and God said, daggone it, I just told you. Don't react to those type of people because they will fall.
Absolutely.
And then God will humble them so much that they'll come back to you apologizing.
Yep.
So,
and
it's hard to do that. It ain't easy to do. It's a discipline, but you will win. You're not going to lose.
She already won. That's why they had her like that.
Right. Yeah.
They're trying to take something.
That was my input.
Y'all making me feel like this dream was like I was taking it as God was giving me a message to share with someone else, but y'all are saying that it was meant for me to share, but also like a warning to me. Because literally I woke up out of my dream, and it was so fresh. It was so fresh.
Mm-hmm.
Like, literally, like, I literally, before I opened my eyes, I heard the Holy Spirit say to me, do it live. And I woke up remembering the dream. Most people don't remember what they dream. A lot of people, if you ask them what they dream, when they wake up, they have no memory. No, I know I dreamed about something, but I literally could see it, like see it. I could see faces, that type of thing.
Okay. So you may have gone from a dream to a vision.
I was never in the dream. I was not in the dream. It's like I was looking at it on TV or something.
You don't have to be in it for it to have a message for you, and then after, when you understand what it is, then you can share it because it's going to help others.
Yeah, you went from a dream to a vision.
I've always had visions and dreams from way back, always, and they were so specific.
Mm-hmm.
Always. Very seldom I had a dream and I didn't remember. It was because I may have ate something late or something, but it's always some information.
Mm-hmm.
That's deep. Because that's the first dream that I remember in a while. Like I'm like you. I used to have a lot of prophetic dreams. I think a lot of people, females, Pisces. I feel like we have a lot of prophetic.
I tried to tell you.
Vision.
Wow.
Yeah, I do. I used to see stuff, and I would see things in my life before those things happened. Like I knew I was going to be in Atlanta. I saw myself in different places and all that kind of stuff before it ever happened. Yeah, I feel like I don't know if it has anything to do with Pisces. I'm just saying. I feel like when I talk to other people who are born in February or who are in that, or March, in that Pisces era, they all say the same thing. They have a lot of prophetic dreams and visions and stuff
dreams,
like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Way before at the table was even a thought, I had a vision, because sometimes they're and I don't know, maybe Kim or Patricia or anybody can tell me what this type of of experiences is I can be walking or up or doing whatever, and it's like a quick vision, but I'm awake, but I clearly understand what is being said. But so going back to the vision, way before At the Table got started, and it was Main Street. So here in Columbus, Main and Parsons, where the freeway is, and those, if you're heading west on Main, there's all these buildings. Either some of them are boarded up, some of them are health centers or whatever. But I was in this. It was like this was my building. And it was all these women and children in there, and they had their babies, and it was just so many. It was all kind of races. The room was just massive, and they were all standing there, and they all needed help, and some of them had been molested, domestic violence, abuse, homeless, drugs. So the civic building, I know the location. So I said, I need to go by there. But that was years before At the Table was even thought of. So, and that was the big vision, because we're not even at that level yet.
Right. So we are in Pisces season. And being a Pisces definitely has something to do with what you're talking about. I wasn't going to bring it up on the air so that we can, discuss it later in detail, but it definitely does. Definitely does.
Yeah, that was deep. I think that another thing that I know when I was talking about the song Superwoman, and most people think that I have two versions of the song because, I'm just creative like that. But that ain't the case. There's two versions of the song because the first version had two artists on it. And I actually, one of the artists I met in Chicago, the other artist I met through someone in Atlanta. But, we were all indie artists, and I'm trying to, bring other people with me. You know how you be trying to bring other people with you when you got a vision or you got a dream, or you try to bring people along who are like you, trying to get it. So I brought these two artists along, and they both dope artists. But there came a point when they started doing things to try to sabotage the song because they were angry that everywhere we went to perform, I was only performing Superwoman and not their songs. But the thing is, the platforms that I was taking them through, which is coast to coast, you have to pay for that performance time. So, I had to pay. I had to pay for the performance time, and I was paying for their flight, their hotel. I was paying for everything. You know what I'm saying? And they, for some reason, was upset because they felt like, well, this is your song. But I'm like, but we all on it. Like, what are you talking about? Right. It's not just my song, it's our song. And I'm going through coast to coast. If you got a song that you want to push, then you need to purchase a platform, purchase a slot like I did. I didn't brought you here. All you got to do was invest.
Exactly. Just invest in, but, like
they didn't. Yeah. So it got to the point where we went to Chicago, we went to in Atlanta, New York, Cali. Oh my gosh! And people actually was telling me stuff about one of the artists ahead of time, but you know how you don't be wanting to believe that. You don't be wanting to know that you made a bad choice, or you don't want to know that somebody is really trying to do some underhanded stuff. Like you don't want to believe that. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to. So a lot of times I think we have people that we know they ain't right. In all honesty, we know like you said. I don't know if it was you, Deshaun, or Kim, that said when you first meet somebody, you know they ain't right, but you still keep on. 100%. You still keep on rolling with them. I knew, but I still kept on rolling with them, and to the point where every city we got to was getting worse and worse. When we got to L.A., we acted a hot fool. And so I had to create a new song. Yeah.
Okay. Now you're even more of a superwoman.
Huh?
I said now you're even more of a superwoman.
Mhm.
Ain't that something?
I had to go through those experiences. You were Supergirl at the time. You superwoman for real now.
And then you had to drop that zero and be your own shero.
I love it. It's like, no, it means I elevated.
Absolutely.
I elevated, right.
So
sometimes people can try to think that they are sabotaged. They're going to try to sabotage what you're doing, but really all they do is just make the journey a little bumpy. But if God said that's what's going to be, if God said this is your assignment, this is your mission, this is your purpose, this is your vision, it doesn't matter how many Judases or people who are not two-faced people come in. They might put a dick in it. They might, you know what I'm saying, make the ride bumpy. But if God said it's going to be, it's going to be. And and those people will eventually be, like you said, revealed and removed.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Man, I got so many specific stories, and it was like, I'm like, God, you are so amazing. Like it nobody would know. I mean, people had to be humble. They were high up people making six figures, and it didn't matter. God said, if you're involved and you're getting messed with, I don't care who it is. As long as you do what you're supposed to be doing, meaning coming to work, because I also had some expectations. God said, I'm going to work on your behalf, but you got to do something for me. You got to come in on time. You got to always be professional. You can't be in with the jokes. Come to work, and you got to do what you're supposed to do, because what you can do or what they can do, you can't do. And that message came along so clear. Like somebody was having a conversation, like Kim or Patricia or Missy would call me and say, hey, have a conversation. It was that clear.
Okay.
Wow.
I guess we just have to know that that's afforded to us, and not that it's, and I don't know why every time we talk about a religious thing, we have to justify it. But it's like it's a lifestyle.
And this is not religious.
All right, I'm
it's
done.
spiritual.
I'm
it
done.
is what it is.
Yeah,
this is spiritual.
It's not subtracted in any area. I don't see it being. Yeah,
those people are also needed in our life to get us to where we are going. So actually going through that now. And I just learned day before yesterday, day before, like those people are needed in your life. They come in to teach you a lesson of how not to be. So there's a lesson in everything, and those people are needed in our lives to get us to the next level of where we are supposed to be in life anyway. So I thank all the haters and all of them. I thank y'all. And I'm learning because God is actually working with me, because I've been ready to fight a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? Been to try to defend myself with these hands over here. But
put the hands together, girl, and pray.
Not everybody that you meet.
I said put those hands together and pray.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just look together. This me, I'll be like, y'all better thank God that honey, that he done changed me, because I'm trying to tell you, you would have been beat up a long time ago. You heard. I ain't lying. I am only telling the truth, baby. Y'all better be lucky that I am changed.
I just got to tell one more little thing. It will take 2 seconds, but when y'all talking about beating people up, again, somebody did something to me at work and said a lie, and it really, like, I can't take no more. And I was coming in my job, and I saw her coming, and she was parking, and I literally set down my stuff, and I was going to wait there. And I was so mad. I don't know what I was going to do, but probably hit her. And And it was like, again, the Holy Spirit said, pick up your stuff and go to your office before you do something you regret. And it came across just like that. And I said, okay. People can take you there. And I would have hit her and punched her, and she would have deserved it, but I would have got fired and probably got some, I'm sure she would have probably filed some charges against me. And that would have been, would not have been worth it.
Right.
But I was going to do it. I was literally do it at work. Thank God for God, because I know He done got me out of some situations. Yeah, when people do stuff to you that are not right.
Right. And especially when you just got to sit back and take it, right? When you just got to take what's dished out to you, like, Lord, help me. One thing you can do is pray. Because, honey, listen.
And get away from it.
So the second part is, what happens when the people, that these people have two faces, but the people with the two faces is family? Like, how do you, because you're not going to cut off your family, but
you'll love that. You'll love that. You think not? Sure.
I think that right now it's a little different because, again, it's how people make you feel, and it really doesn't matter about the title, and it does. But even with family, you still have to set those expectations and boundaries, and it can hurt. But what do you do?
I agree.
Do you still take it?
I mean, no, you don't still take it. And you know what? I've thought about that, Trish, over and over, like, but what if it's your family? My feelings, my opinion on that is, if it is not taking you to your destination, anybody who keeps, I mean, because you're going to get roadblocks and detours, but if this person is not taking you to where God is sending you to your destination, then sometimes you got to cut them off. It don't matter. It don't matter, because you can't, for one, you can't share your vision with everybody, because everybody's not going to be happy for you. And God didn't tell everybody. He told you. So if you have a family member who because I have a couple haters in my family. And I am one of the nicest, not trying to toot my own horn, but I'm one of the nicest people that I know. But sometimes, have you ever, went all out your way for a friend or family member, and it still was not enough? You still getting feedback from some other people like, dang, they said you did this and this, but you could have done this, this, and this. And all I'm thinking is, this is the same person who really never done anything for me, but anytime they come to me, I don't mind helping. But the older I get, the more I just, you can fall off. That don't mean I won't love you, because the majority of my family members, I love unconditionally. I will always love you, but if you are not keeping me in my happiness, if you are not in my movement towards my destination, then is when I see you, I'm going to speak. I'm going to always be polite, but I'm not going to go out my way to try to be friends. And I mean, and you can have family, we're like, we family, but if you're not friends with that family member, then, I mean, it's kind of like being an associate. It's kind of like that, because, I mean, I feel like people are like trees. You have your leaves, and these are your false friends that come and go. People you like, oh, yeah, she was nice, or he was cool, and you don't see them no more. Then you got the branches, and they stay around or whatnot, but if things get too heavy, they break off. Then, you got your roots. You got your roots, people that's going to be there through the thick of it, through the heaviness of it. They, no matter what, they're going to be there. And you can always tell who you're a friend with. Like, you can have a friend that you haven't seen in months or years. When you see them, you pick right back up like you've seen them every day and talk to them every day. I feel like this. If somebody, God forbid, was to pass, if I make my time to go and pay my respects, then to me they were a friend. But if something is coming up, an event or something is up, and this person happened to pass, and I'm like, oh, I really wanted to, see him, but, I mean, then it just depends. But, if they're not going towards my destiny or it's negative aura that I don't have time for, or they want to drag you in their shit, then I don't have time for it. I'm not going to make time for it. I refuse to do it.
We have a caller on the line.
People are dying every day.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
What?
We have a call. What'd you say?
Get the caller.
Get the caller.
Okay, let me bring the caller on. Who was just talking just a second ago? Can y'all hear me?
Mocha, I can hear you. I can hear you, but I shut up when everybody else talks. I just feel like people are dying every day due to depression, anxiety, all kinds of stuff because they are trying to uphold these imposed norms and values that have come from years and years and years ago. Your great-great-great-great-grandparents, you're trying to uphold it. That upholding the definition of what family is based on what you were taught a long time ago. And personally, I just feel like I have a right to define what family is, who family is for me, and what that means for me. And for me, that has helped me to let go of a lot of stress that was imposed on me, trying to uphold all of those different traditions and norms. So I feel when people can unhook from those words and come up with their own meaning for certain words, I think people would just be a lot better off by doing that. It's like so many different things. My grandmother used to say, well, if a crow is in the basement, then that means somebody is going to die. Well, somebody's going to die every day anyway. But you got me going crazy worried about a bird being in the basement because of what you were told when you were a kid. That worked then, 100 years ago. Maybe that's what that meant. Maybe that's what happened then. But the chances of that happening now just because there was a bird in the basement are slim. You don't walk in the house and put the umbrella up because that's bad luck. You have to cut the ends off the roast before you put it in an oven. Well, they used to do that because they didn't have pans big enough. But some people stress every day about cutting the ends off that roast because that's what their grandmother did, because that's what's expected of them. It's just take the time to come up with your own definitions and your own norms and values and the things that you like, and that would take a lot of stress off of you. Because if family is not treating you right, then you have the right not to deal with them ever, like ever. Doesn't feel comfortable, but you certainly have that right to dismiss them from your life and not deal with them. That's my take.
Let's bring the caller on and see what they think about what you said. Hello, caller. You have 204. You called earlier. You better say something this time, caller.
Okay, I'll say something. I'll say something this time. How you ladies doing tonight?
I know that don't make you voice anywhere. I just didn't recognize the number. What's going on, Patrick?
Nothing much. I just wanted to respond to what was just said, and I think that's really important with kind of charting your own course. And I think it's also okay if you were going one way and it didn't work out, and then you chart a new course for yourself. You can't. If you're trying to live up to something, that's okay. But if it doesn't work, hey, then you just got to make a new plan, right? I think it's also important for if we bring it up to what's happened in the last year. you have a lot of people when they're scared or when they're fearful, they want to put fear on everybody else. And I think it's okay that people say, you know what? You know, if this is the case, and it actually was the case for me, last year wasn't a bad year for me. It was not. It was a good year. I got to, you know, do some things. I focused on my health. You know, did a lot of investing, made a lot of money. You know what I mean? Like, matter of fact, as far as money is concerned, even when I made mistakes, I made money. Like last year was good in a lot of ways, but it wasn't something I could talk to people about because they want to put their fear on you. If they're feeling fearful, they want you to feel the same way. If they're feeling despair, they want to put it on you. So whether it's coming from the television, which I don't watch, thankfully, or if it's coming from other people, they want to call you. I mean, there were a lot of phone calls I didn't take last year. When I saw the number, just nope, not taking that call. Nope, not taking that call because I know what's on the other line, on the side, right? It's the same old calling me, trying to get me to be scared like everybody else, and I just wasn't.
Right.
I just wasn't. I mean, I acknowledge that people are going through a hard time. I acknowledge that people are sick, and I acknowledge those things. I just didn't accept it for myself. Mm-hmm. I'm like, if something is if ill is gonna come to me, it's not gonna find any agreement in me. None. Yep. Because I don't accept it. So I think that was a key point she made about just charting your own course and kind of not feeling constrained to go with the tradition or the herd. If everybody else is feeling the way, you don't have to feel the same way. You know, I think that's a very important point.
Right. Absolutely.
So, I mean, why bring the negativity with you? Why bring their negativity? And you know, although I mean, I financially last year was a good year for me. I was not affected really, and with me being with my job, you know, I saw a lot of hardship go around the people that were around me. But with me being a nurse, being a first responder, I did very, very well. I did better than, you know, in quite a few years I did last year. But there were a lot of nurses who were afraid to go to work. There were a lot of people who quit like, oh, my God. I mean, a lot of things shut down. You know, I put my faith first. You know, I did do to protect everything I could to protect myself. And God said go. And I went, and I did not go hungry. I was a lender and not a borrower. And I was blessed. I was very blessed.
Did you feel funny talking to people about how well you did financially and that kind of thing?
Yeah, I didn't even do it because a lot of people over I would have to say the majority of people that I knew, they were falling. They were falling. And I gave when I could, you know, but a lot of people, family and friends around me, they were layoffs, you know, their jobs ended up shutting down permanently. So, and it was sad, but I kept my joy to myself because it was a joy that God gave me, and I was thankful for it. But, you know, I didn't. I wanted to, but I didn't. I didn't want to feel like I was boasting. I didn't want anyone to feel any lower or any sadder than what they were, or just, you know, I wanted everybody, you know, to just keep up hope and stay prayed up. But no, I didn't share. Did you?
No, I didn't really. I didn't share, no, for the same reason, right? For some of the same reason. And I just didn't, you know, when people came to me, when they were calling me a lot of times. Now, there were some people that, you know, had family members that were sick or something like that. But I think most of the phone calls I was getting was to talk about this, you know, talk about this and what's going on, all the numbers and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, after the first few weeks of this, I lost interest. I was like, okay, the numbers. I mean, if you don't have any solutions, I don't want to talk about this, right? Like, people are going to be having hardships because everything is shut down. Let's talk about how to make some money, right? Let's talk about how to do something. Let's talk about health and how to, were you able to find the extra weights at Walmart? At Walmart were out of dumbbells, to build that, that gym in your basement and that kind of thing. So those are the kind of things I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about positive things, but people were just calling. Did you hear about California? Did you hear about New York? So I never brought it up. I was just like, I can't, I think I tried to bring it up like one or two times with certain people, but they just weren't trying to hear it. And I just like, you know what? I can't do this. So I just stopped answering certain phone calls.
I shared, and I shared often, because it's my belief for me that, God has given me these gifts, whatever they are, whether it's the gift to encourage and support people, whether it's the gift of being able to give gifts in the form of money or other things. He's given me these gifts to share and not to keep to myself. So my successes and my failures, if you will, I share them. Now, do I superimpose them on people? No. But I'm around people all the time who are negative or in that negative space. So for me, I feel like, well, how dare I keep my gifts to myself? Whatever they think about that is on them. I don't believe that I'm boasting. I don't believe that I'm bragging. I just feel like I'm sharing my gifts, and it's up to the other person to take from that what they can use.
Well, Dr. A. Marie, let me ask you this, because I felt like a sense of guilt, and it wasn't so much as bragging, but I felt like, to me, it felt like I was kicking somebody while they were down, and whether it was financially or whether it was just it's super. I went through a lot of people who were experiencing a super amount of fear. I had some fear. I'm not going to lie. Because people I'm working around are dropping like flies, and the whole world got hit rapidly, and the whole different new norm it shook me for a minute, but it never stopped my prosperity. But I still felt guilty. Why do you think that was? Because you were open, you were able to share, and I felt too guilty to share.
Well, I feel that most people feel guilty because they feel responsible. You take on a responsibility of another's thoughts, feelings, or actions. You feel like you have this ability to make people happy or make people sad. And that comes from us not being charged or even knowing how to take responsibility for our own actions, for our own feelings. Thoughts will come. You can't control those. I mean, I think some foul shit. You don't even want to know what it is sometimes. I'll be like, oh, good God. You're like, doctor, why do you think that? Well, because thoughts come to my mind. But the action that follows makes the difference. Right? How I internalize that makes the difference. Is what I do with it. And for me, I've learned to be a resource without being responsible. So what does that mean? Like, if I'm sharing information with somebody, if I'm sharing the fact that, well, COVID is here, there's a possibility that I could get sick, but guess what? I'm not taking that on. I'm not absorbing that negative energy. I'm not claiming that. COVID will not live in my body. I'm sharing that with somebody, right? And I say, well, here's some of the things that I do. This is me being a resource. Well, I wash my hands when I come home. I change clothes if I've been in and out of someplace. I give them all this information. That's me being a resource to that person. Now, where the responsibility comes in is I'm taking on responsibility. Now I'm chasing them to find out, did you wash your hands when you went to your home? Did you, stay away from places where it was more than 10 people? I'm putting out a lot of energy being responsible for their care when they're in charge of being responsible for their own shit. So I've learned some time ago that's my philosophy. Okay, be a resource without being responsible, and as much as you want to be in control of somebody else's well-being, leave that to the ultimate source. Leave that to God. Leave that, because I can't say that I believe, right, that God is going to take care of these things, has and will, but not have full-time faith. Can't be part-time faith. I got to believe him for good, and I got to believe him for bad. So that's how I can.
I agree with all of y'all, and that was deep. I still want to jump into the other part of our discussion, which was generational curses, but I want to take a quick break. So I'm going to take a quick music break. I'm going to play more than 2 songs, I promise. And I want to come back. And since we were talking about family and things of that nature, I want to jump into the generational curses, which was the second part of our topic. So we're going to take a quick break, play two quick songs, and then we're going to come right back. And anybody who would like to join in, you can call us at 516-387-1247 when we come back from the break. This is On the Move Unscripted, Ladies Roundtable Discussion. Be right back, y'all.
I just wanna find you. I just wanna find you. Yeah, girl, and girl, you and I get to know each other better. Girl, you and I can chill for the night. Make no sense tomorrow, trap like girl, you are mine. Chocolate vanilla swirl. Wanna give you the finest things like diamonds and pearls, just 'cause you're my girl. Let's make a special you and me tonight, if that's alright. Don't try to fight it, baby. We both grown and we know what we came to do. Don't put your guard up and try not to hide from me. I just wanna find you. I just wanna find you. Just me and you, I need a break. I get tired of dealing with the stress, heartache, and pain. When I'm with you, it dissipates and goes away. You always meet me halfway. So ain't no place gotta fly. And I can't wait to be alone with you. No social media, let's leave that all behind. That ain't nothing that you really need. for the night. You and
You have tuned in to another episode of On the Move, Unscripted, On Purpose, Ladies Roundtable Discussion. If you want to call in, the number is 516-387-1247. So there was two parts of our discussion today. So the first part we talked about people with two faces and the fear that came with with pandemic and all that kind of stuff. But we touched a little bit on family and the things that happen within the family dynamic. So I definitely want to jump in and talk about the generational curses. And when we talk about generational curses, we're talking about things like, this happened to my grandma, and kind of find out it happened to, her grandma and her grandma, like, for instance, molestation. Molestation is something that, in my opinion, appears to be kind of like a generational almost like a generational curse thing, or maybe even poverty or whatever. What are y'all thoughts about generational curses?
Well, my stance on energy and karma. One, energy is everything, and it affects everything, and karma exists. How a person thinks affects or infects what they give birth to, what they give life to, will receive that same code. So as far as, and not just on, molesters and abusers or whatever, it's whatever the mentality is, whatever the trauma is, whatever the toxicity is passed down, because, well, how I've been talking about the whole healing process. If you don't heal with things, it's acknowledging the sickness, it gets passed down because it becomes a norm. So if people don't acknowledge, the shit that they're going through, that they're experiencing, they'll continue to do it. They'll continue to repeat, the trauma. But the part is that you have to acknowledge that you are infected with something first. You know what I'm saying? Like, that becomes the hard part, because that means that you have to go into all of your ugly spaces and do that shadow work and allow those tower moments to happen, when you look at yourself and realize that yourself has always been your representative, and keep doing some work on you and going back and looking at things that you can actually see in your family, the patterns that have actually taken place, and realize, okay, well, I do that and I don't like that. I need to stop that and stop it. Generational curses only continue because people won't stop them. They won't do what's necessary to stop them. If I know that my mother does something that I don't like and I keep doing it, guess what's going to happen? It's going to keep happening. I personally know, I remember, I don't remember what it was, but I remember noticing something that, and it wasn't super bad, but noticing a wave about my mom and or dad that I had. I'm like, I don't like that shit, but I do it. So let me correct it. So you have to be accountable for your own mess for the most part. Do what's necessary to fix that. Stop lying to yourself about yourself and correct it. So, the energy passes down. The karma passes down because it's never stopped. That's the short version of the answers. The energy and the karma continues because it's never stopped. It's never acknowledged and never stopped. Period.
So I know that, Dr. A. Marie, I know you go into the prison, or you used to. I don't know if you still do, but I know you did if you don't still. And I know you do or used to talk to some of the different prisoners. And for the ones who were in there for, some type of crime against, whether it's, abuse, murder, or molestation, whatever, and you sit down and talk to them, how often did they say, well, I did it because that was done to me when I was young?
Oh, man, that was very often. That's what people, we have learned as a society not to take responsibility for our behaviors. We blame, and we can say these generational curses and they're passed down and passed down, but some people are dead and long gone, and we still blame our current behaviors on those people. What a dishonor to their death. I just love my grandmother. I love her. I miss her. She taught me all these things, or she didn't teach me all these things, and I got to honor her name. But you honor her name by going out and smoking crack because she died? Come on. Like, really? That's what you do? That's the excuse? You murder somebody because you were hurt when you were 10? You're 50. When is it that we stop and take responsibility? So that's, usually my response to them when they come with that. Like, when do you take responsibility for your life? Because that person is going on living their life or or gone, and you still here locked up. Yes, they do. They use that a lot.
I remember when I was younger, I used to always say I didn't want to have children. And I used to say I didn't want to have children because I didn't want to do to my children what was done to me. That was a big fear for me for a lot of years, because I used to always hear people say, well, they said their dad did it to them, and then when you talk to the dad, they said the grandpa did it to them, and I used to always worry that the abuse that I experienced as a child, that I would do it to my kids. That was like a big fear for me for many years. I did not want to have kids because I was really afraid that I would hurt them in some kind of way and do to them in some kind of way what was done to me. Like that was a big fear I had.
How did you prevent that? What did you do to prevent that? I mean, this is the part that we need to talk about, right? How did you not do that?
So I'm not going to say I was the greatest parent ever, but a lot of things that I know I didn't like growing up, I tried to not do it to my kids. Like for instance, my family was very strict, super strict. Our Marie knows, my family was strict as heck. And so
I can attest to that.
Yes, it was I couldn't do what most kids was able to do. Like as a teenager, like I couldn't go to the football games. It wasn't until I got to the 12th grade that I finally was like, what, I'm doing this, I don't care. But so when my children started coming up, I was very lenient, maybe too lenient at times. I probably let them get away sometimes with murder. I think the only thing I was strict about was school, but other than that, I tried to be the opposite of what I hated growing up, because I felt like, for me, that them keeping me in that shell, it just made me vulnerable to everything. Like, before I went to college, I was just like little Mary Poppins, for real. But then when I went away to college, it was just like I was wild as hell. And I felt like it was because I didn't get to experience what most kids experience in high school or, middle school or whatever. So I didn't want my kids to be naive and get, mistreated because they didn't have any kind of street knowledge. You know what I'm saying? So I guess I tried to do opposite of what was done to me because I hated it. But then sometimes I look at it and I'm like, well, shit, I should have been more strict. Because my kids be wilding out sometimes, But that's basically what I did.
And see, like with me, it was the opposite, because I didn't have restrictions, and it wasn't until a friend I went to her house and it's getting late. Her mom was like, "Honey, it's getting kind of late." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And my friend walked me to the door, and she was like, "Well, what time do you have? What time is your curfew?" Now once upon a time, curfew was when the lights came on. But then once I became like a teenager, I didn't really have a curfew. I just knew to go home. And I even told myself, like, you know what? You're not disciplined enough. And this is weird, So I really kind of clung to my grandmother a lot, because there with my grandmother and grandfather, there were rules. But there were really no rules in my house. My mom had rules, just in generalized, but like curfew, I never had. From 7th, 8th grade, I didn't have no curfew. But, I came in. I knew, it was getting dark. Plus, not only that, but everybody else had to go in. So I'm like, well, I guess I'm going on. I got nothing else to do. But I never really had that. I had too much freedom. And that was
and
crazy.
I think that's what drew me to you, Marie. That's what drew me to you when we were younger, because you was just so free and full of life and kicking it and doing what the heck you wanted to do. And I was just like, she's going to be my friend. I'm going to kick it with her. But I'm curious, has anybody else experienced, maybe not that, but something else in their family line that they were determined that they weren't going to carry on? Am I the only one?
Me was and this is Deshaun or DJ, when I decided to go to college later on when I was working. But I have no brothers and sisters, so it's like my grandparents, my aunt, uncle, my mom, and me. So they didn't go to school or college. And I'm not saying nobody. So I said, I'm going to go to college.
Yeah.
So education.
So you were the first in your family to graduate from college, Deshaun?
In that line. So that was my immediate family line.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. But how about anybody else? Did anybody else have something that you noticed was repetitive in your family line that you tried your best to not duplicate?
I can say about the diet. Let me say this real quick about this diet. Okay, at one point, I was always a skinny girl. All right, I was always a skinny one, and then eventually I got fat. I got up to 200 pounds. That's big for me. But I noticed how I was eating. Like I was a pork head, but pork was cheap. You know what I'm saying? So you can eat pork all week. You know what I'm saying? You buy one pack, you eat off that all week when you got a family, right? And I noticed that like my family on my dad's side are darker complexion, but they also have skin issues. So they all got them raccoon eyes. Love my family, no, I ain't dogging y'all or nothing. I'm just saying, but that's what it is, right? I gotta watch that, but they got the dark eyes, right? So I started to develop that, and I was like, okay, well, my family got that, so it's genetic. I'm like, then something says stop eating pork, so I just stopped. Like I didn't go through no withdrawal or nothing. I just stopped, and as I stopped and changed my diet, my face changed, my complexion changed, everything about me changed. I said, well, this shit is not genetic. This is habitual. This is taught. This is passed down because this is what they do. This is what I'm used to them doing. I'm going over, Big Mama's house and she got 99 plates or whatever on the table. You know what I'm saying? And we eat everything all day, no matter what part of the animal it came from. It's fried. We eating it. You know what I'm saying? But that was something that was taught. I'm watching this behavior happen, and I was like, I don't want that. It's like I said, no shot to my folks, but I don't want them damn black ass eyes. I don't want that. I don't want to look like that. This is not genetic. This is a practice. So when I changed my practice, I changed everything about me. So for me, that would be one of the bigger things that I found, that was so-called generational, but it's not a generational curse. It's a generational practice that I stopped at. I'm so glad. That would be it for me.
Well, for me, it was. Go ahead.
No, I was going to ask you.
So for me, it was the whole communication thing that was a problem. That whole, what happens in the house stays in the house. Speak when you're spoken to kind of stuff. And that's the dangerous thing I found for a lot of people. And while that worked back in the slavery days, because, that's how they kept slaves isolated, that's how they kept them, the slave masters kept them under their control, was to not to talk to people outside of the house, outside of the plantation about what was going on with you. So my grandparents and parents and that, they kind of kept that thing. So when I started to raise my children, I decided I wasn't going to do that because that didn't work for me. I mean, I wound up being shot at, raped, molested, talked down to, bullied, you name it, and I was too afraid to speak up for myself because I felt that I had to keep all of that stuff inside. I shouldn't tell anybody. And I know that's not what my parents meant to teach me. That's not the message that they meant to give to me, but that was the message that I got. that I shouldn't tell anybody. That's bad. You don't do that. So I decided with my children, no. You say whatever you need to say, and if you need to get it off your mind to somebody who's not in the house, then you tell them, because that's only going to help you mentally be a little bit more sane or at peace. So that was it for me, that whole communication thing.
Okay. What about you, Missy? Did you see anything that you, like, was there any type of thing that seemed that it was going on from generation to generation that you tried your best not to duplicate or pass down?
Like Dr. Marie just said, like the communication and stuff, like what goes on in my house, stay in my house type thing, you know, we experienced that as well. And that, you know, one thing Mama used to say to us is children are to be seen and not heard. And I used to be like, what is this? Like, you know, there was a lot of things that was taught to us that I always did not like, you know, like the children are to be seen and not heard, because when we were trying to tell on certain cousins and stuff for, you know, touching us inappropriately, we just was like, children are to be seen, you know, told to go play. Children are to be seen and not heard. I got company, so we never was able to tell anything, you know, and what goes on in my house, stay in my house and that type stuff, you know. And I said, I will never do that to my kids. And like Dr. Marie said as well, I told my kids, if you don't feel comfortable coming to me and talking to me, tell somebody, you know. So that's what they ended up doing. Because they didn't feel comfortable with talking to me, so they ended up telling, you know, and I'm glad that they did, you know, because I was a very strict parent, you know, and a young one at that. But there was one time I had, it was one saying my mom, I can't even think of it. I forget what it was, but I said I would never tell my kids that. And one time it slipped out my mouth, and I said it to one of my kids one time, and it broke me, because I had promised I will never say that to my children. I can't even remember what it was, because I tried to put it out my mind to the point to where I would never, ever do that again. I cried, you know, because it hurt my feelings for me to say that to my child. You know, but that was just a lot of that right there, that holding that, not able to talk to nobody. What goes on in my house, stay in my house. That stuff is dangerous. It's a very dangerous game that we were taught, you know, and that it got passed down, you know, like that. But I put a stop to all of that, you know, as much as I could. I put a stop to it. And, you know, I just refuse. I will be the one to break the generational curses. I don't care who's mad. You scratch up and get glad type thing. Okay. You know. And a lot of people don't agree with me. You know, like one instance I was like, well, we need to be going on, me and my one of my sisters, we need to go on an Oprah show and tell them about our molestation and our rapes when we were younger. Girl, that's family business. You don't tell nothing. I said, what is this? You know, like, no, we need to tell to get, I don't care how many of them is, you know, our blood relative. We need to tell so people can be aware. Keep them away from your kids. You know, keep them away from your kids. Oh, we shouldn't tell them it's family secrets. Family secrets. Like, girl, what is wrong with you? Like, you know, I'm very different, very outspoken.
You know, Missy, when we started talking, when women started talking about what was going on, I feel like it helped to maybe not stop it, but definitely bring it to the forefront and hopefully slowed it down a lot, because it was happening much too often, too much, until women started stepping up and talking about it and saying, listen, this is what happened to me. This is what, you know, my father did, or my uncle did, or my mother's friend did, or my mother's boyfriend did. Like, when women started talking about it, I feel like that's what brought the awareness. Otherwise, it has still been one of those deep, dark secrets in everybody's freaking past. So I'm glad that you spoke up. I know that my family wasn't happy about me writing that book, but I needed to do it for my therapy. And not only that, but I felt like if it saved one child from going through what I went through, then it was worth, being shunned and made me feel like the black sheep of the family. But I felt like I owed the people, to be able to tell that story and hopefully save somebody. So, but to flip over to Patrick in our last few seconds, what about you? Have you seen anything in your family that you try to not duplicate?
It would be the communication. I think that was already brought up, and I think that's a common thing, right? I think the part that I didn't want to replicate was not speaking to my children, not talking to them, not explaining things to them. So when I tell them things, I explain why. Because it was never explained to me. It was just, don't do this, don't do that,
Right.
and there was never any explanation given.
Right.
A lot, usually, right? So I wanted to correct that because that was, I think another thing is the whole spanking thing. Like, I had old school parents, they were from down south, so, the switch was used regularly, and I was just like, man, I'll never do this, right? And I didn't. So those were the two things. But I do have a question for you ladies. And this is something that guys talk about a lot because we hear it a lot. And it's about the experiences that you ladies were just talking about. How prevalent is that? Because when guys talk, we're like, man, there was a lot of stuff going on in these homes because we're all dating women, and the women are telling all of us the same story. And for those of us who are, we're just unaware of what's really going on out here in these families with these kids, So I just wanted to ask a question: how prevalent?
It was going on a lot. It was going on a lot. It was going on generations back a lot. Probably even. It's been going on. It was going on a lot. It was going on a lot. It wasn't until I want to say maybe
because I just think that'd be a better topic because that's a deep topic that we could hit next week.
Yeah, it is.
For sure, you got 2 minutes.
We got 2 minutes left. You're right. That is a deep topic. So that's something that we can come back with next week. So Patrick, we would definitely like to ask you.
Please join us next week. I personally look
very strong feelings about that, so I'll definitely be back next week. I have some very strong feelings about that.
Yeah, definitely. So that's what we'll pick up at. Because you're right, we can get in that, and we'll get in Blog Talk will cut us off, and it won't. The whole of it won't be able to get out. So, and then hopefully, one of us will do a live, Kim or myself or somebody, and we can get, some of our Facebook friends or whatever to join the topic. But that is a deep topic about that because it was very going on a lot. Still is. You're still seeing news reports come up with these children are being molested or abused or whatever in these homes. It's still going on, but I feel like it's more on the forefront, and the parents and stuff are actually going to jail. Back when that stuff was happening to me, wasn't nobody going to jail about it. But
nor was anybody getting any counseling.
Cut off. So we'll talk about this next week, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Got much love for y'all, and yeah, we're gonna have a good topic. On the Move Unscripted.
Okay, happy birthday, Trish.
Happy birthday.
Good night, ladies.
Happy birthday,
Happy birthday.
Hi, happy birthday.
Bye. Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all.